Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for checking out my weather video today. It's been a little on the chilly side out there, and some folks have woke up to seeing some snowflakes out there. In fact, a couple of spots even picked up an inch of snow on the grassy areas. That's mainly off to the southeast of Grand Rapids. More on that in just a minute, but let's travel up north here as we start things out on this April the 10th. We got a couple of pictures here for you. One showing the amount of snow on the ground in the UP. And all that area in the dark blue represents some areas there that have well over a foot of snow on the ground, some places with over 2 feet of snow on the ground, especially that area west of Marquette and then up the spine of the Keweenaw Peninsula there. Not so much right down by the water, but up a little bit higher. They've had a lot of snow this winter. And, of course, Painesdale, we've reported already, is over 300 inches of snow for the winter. In fact, we've actually got 4 ski areas in Michigan that are still going to be open here this weekend. In lower Michigan, Boyne Mountain is still going to be open this weekend. And Ski Brule in the UP, along with Mount Bohemia, are going to be open here as well. And Marquette Mountain, I believe, is the 4th one that's going to be open. So if you want to get the skis out one more time, those are the places to head to. Picture on the right is Isle Royal National Park, and that will be opening up in 6 days. So April 16th, they finally open the park. It closes up for the winter, but a beautiful picture up there today. They were seeing some sunshine, some scattered clouds, water looking good up there, and there's still quite a bit of snow up there on Isle Royal. So if you get up there during the month of April, they often have snow on the ground yet. Okay, let's head to what's going on right here. This is precipitation, which is not only rain, but also melted snow. And you can see the heaviest precipitation here overnight tonight and this morning off to the south of Grand Rapids. In fact, when you get north of Cadillac, there's really not much of anything that's fallen up there in terms of rain or snow. Just a few scattered raindrops or snowflakes expected from Grand Rapids off to the north, off to the south. A little bit of a mix of light rain and snow here will be ending here later this morning. And if we're really lucky, we may see the sun peek out this afternoon. In terms of early morning snowfall, most of that's over toward the Detroit area, but some of the higher elevations there that are west and north of Detroit, picking up an inch, and I think we even had a couple of spots with 2 inches of snow on the grassy areas very briefly. Ground is warm. Roads, if anything, would just be wet, so you don't have to worry about that here. But one little taste of winter here before we send things in the other direction. So let's take a quick moment and thank our sponsors. Michelle?
And it's spring, and it is a great time to do some home or office cleaning, and Complete Care Concierge LLC has you covered. They are a cleaning service, and they serve all of West Michigan. They can do your home cleaning. They can do your business cleaning. They can clean once. They can clean on a repeated basis. Whether your home, apartment, or condo is large or small, they've got all the latest products and what you need to keep your home and the things in it looking beautiful. And they serve all of West Michigan, so wherever you need them, they are there for you. Complete Care Concierge LLC, 616-264-1397, 616-264-1397. And now a word from our other sponsor.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, here's a look at where severe thunderstorms are going to be today. And unfortunately, it's over that same area that has been pounded here over the past couple of weeks. A lot of flooding going on down there, and that's probably the big issue, is additional thunderstorms will cause river levels to hang up there and stay relatively high. Towns like Memphis and Little Rock, Nashville could be seeing some more thunderstorm activity during the day today. We have a slight risk now. That's level 2. The marginal risk in the dark green color is a level 1, and you can see that all stays south of Michigan. And then we move to Friday, and any severe weather threat would be on the East Coast, Carolinas up into southeastern Virginia. Just a level 1 or marginal risk of an isolated wind damage report there, maybe some hail. But no big severe weather outbreaks expected here over the next week or so. We'll have a chance of a light shower or a mix today. Continued cool weather today. We're going to be seeing temperatures stuck only in the 40s at best low to mid 40s, and that's a good 10 degrees colder than average for this time of year. Dry weather is expected here for Friday and Saturday. It will be warmer for the weekend. We'll get temperatures back up around 55 to 60 here by Sunday afternoon. So at least the timing on this is going to be pretty good. Well, let's take a look right now at the forecast for the day today. We may struggle to 44. It may not feel quite that warm. We'll have a damp northeast wind. Humidity levels drop to about 70%. That's all. And there is still a chance for a light rain or snow shower during the day. It wouldn't amount to much of anything. We start out the day around 32. I can't totally rule out an icy spot somewhere, but with the ground being as warm as it is, I would imagine that roads here would just be wet, if anything, here during the morning. Let's take a look at the 3-day forecast and look at those two bright sunshines staring you right in the face there. We got great weather coming for Friday and Saturday. Still a little cooler than average here Friday, but Saturday we should get up there. Saturday, the average high temperature is about 56. So, you're seeing 58 and you're saying, whoa, it's going to warm up, but it should be that warm this time of year. Some showers still possible here during the day with some cool weather here this Thursday. Taking a look at high temperatures this Thursday, we're going to be in the low 40s across much of the area here. It will warm up a little bit in the UP, and it was cold up there on Wednesday. It never got above freezing on Mackinac Island. That's a pretty chilly day. But you can see there's a little bit warmer weather off to the west out toward the Mississippi River, and some of that will start to filter in. Low to mid 40s today. By the time we turn to Friday, I expect temperatures Friday to be up in the low to mid 50s here. And readings on Friday should make it up into the maybe the upper 40s right along the Lake Michigan shoreline here. Warmer weather up in the UP where temperatures will top 40 degrees and the snow up there will be melting just a bit. And then one more day we add on for Saturday, and you'll see temperatures here are getting up into the mid to upper 50s during the afternoon. And it will be a pretty nice day with lots of sunshine. So make your plans for Saturday. It should be a good day to be outdoors. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, still an outside chance of a shower today. Much of the day it will not be raining, so not a total washout, but just 44 for a high. And then we're back in the sunshine here, low 50s Friday, mid 50s on Saturday, and low 60s on Sunday. Sunday clouds will be increasing during the afternoon. The next system could bring us some light showers on Monday, but the Gulf of Mexico is all closed off. We're not getting any moisture coming out of that over the weekend here, so I would suspect any rainfall totals here during the day on Monday would be on the light side. Long range outlook is in now. It says temperatures will be a little cooler than average here for the long range. This is the 17th through the 23rd. We'll be seeing rainfall totals during this period. Should be pretty close to average, maybe just slightly above that. So we don't see any real big super warm-ups coming. And like I've always said, this is the time of the year when you don't mind the weather to be on the cool side of average, because you don't get the blossoms coming out. The fruit trees won't be blossoming too soon, making them susceptible to a frost. And we don't get severe weather. When we get a pattern like this, usually the severe weather is off to the south of us, where much of it has been here. So all in all, kind of a gloomy day coming up for you today. Looks like we'll be seeing a return toward some sunshiny weather here for Friday and on Saturday. Michelle's got some interesting things for you now, starting with hockey, it looks like.
Yes, and it's time for Western Michigan in the Frozen Four. That game is tomorrow in St. Louis at 5 p.m., and you can watch it on ESPN2. I
think that's great because a lot of people don't have they have ESPN2 on a cable system, or they have access to it. So, hey, 5 o'clock, cheer on our Broncos as they take on Denver.
Yeah, good luck.
I went to a Final Four hockey game in Boston when Wisconsin was in it back in, I believe, 1973. And they played Denver, and they won. Interesting.
On April 10, 1915, this actor was born in Detroit. He grew up in Muskegon and played Colonel Sherman T. Potter on MASH and Officer Bill Gannon on Dragnet. Bill Gannon, that was Harry Morgan, whose real name was Harry Bratsberg. He was Swedish, and that's where the Bratsberg came from. And I don't know if I should announce this on the air, but one of his relatives lives here in West Michigan, and I talked with him about Harry and the ability that he had to memorize the copy was just amazing. I don't have that. I would just kind of ad-lib my way through it. But Harry Morgan, again, real name was Bratsberg, and he lived to be into his 90s, his mid-90s.
what else can I tell you about him?
So MASH was around. I looked it up and it ended right around the time I was born, but then reruns were going kind of forever. And it
Sure.
was one of those shows that I knew that your generation watched all the time, but I
Right.
had never seen it myself.
And something interesting, when he played Colonel Potter on MASH, there was a picture of a woman, his wife, on his desk, and that was his real wife. Kind of neat. He had a picture from one of his grandsons of a horse that was up on the bulletin board there. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
But he was a character actor, and he did so many things so well. He could ride a horse, he could fence, he could do all kinds of these things. But he went to the University of Chicago, I believe, with the intention of becoming a doctor. So it's kind of interesting. He wound up, on MASH, which is a bunch of doctors. So interesting. But yeah, he lived into his mid-90s, had a great life and a great career out in Hollywood.
On April 10, 1922, this Michigan city adopted its current name. It incorporated as a city in 1957. The Cal Haven Trail passes through the city. The town was named after someone who built a hotel in the area. It is in Van Buren County. Add a letter, and it's the noises that turkeys make.
Is it add a letter or subtract a letter? Is it Goebbels?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. So shout out to Goebbels.
Yeah, you add a B and you get turkey talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of neat. 1957. That's not too long ago. I've been in kindergarten, whatever.
And April 10 is Golfer's Day, so I thought we needed to salute Bill both for the golfing skills. So that's an image of us golfing with his sister, my aunt, and his mini golf skills, which are legendary.
Oh yeah, we've had so much fun with that. I've never had a hole in one. I'm not a great golfer. Most people get excited when they get a hole in one, but I get excited when I got a hole in 6. It's a real feat,
And we used to go to the Alpine mini golf, which had never been updated since it opened. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
and now they're closed, which is tragic, but we had a lot of fun mini golfing there.
Yeah, and recently I went to the Glow Golf, which is over on Plainfield Avenue, and had a great time there. I enjoyed that very much.
So happy Golfer's Day to all you golfers and mini golfers.
Yeah, some good golf weather over the weekend, not so much today.
And April 10 is International Safety Pin Day. Walter Hunt invented the safety pin in 1849. He was a mechanic, and he was issued his patent for the safety pin on April 10, 1849, which he later sold to pay a debt.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was going to say I love engineers and how they invent things and how things can get modified, but Walter Hunt's first safety pin was very similar to the safety pins that we have today. Nothing much has changed with them. So very interesting.
Yes. So if you have not been stuck by a pin a million times, you have Walter Hunt and the safety pin to thank for it.
I did. I changed a lot of diapers. I never stuck a kid, but I certainly stuck myself a time or two.
All right. So it is National Kelvin Day. So it's a day for all things and people named Kelvin. So I thought it would be fun if we did some Kelvin trivia.
Okay. What U.S. president was named Calvin? Well, that would be Calvin Coolidge. And I like Calvin Coolidge. I thought he was a good president.
And because that question is way too easy, here is your bonus question.
Dear.
Who was Calvin Coolidge's Treasury Secretary?
Treasury Secretary.
And if you don't know, I'm going to bring on our associate producer and presidential expert and see if he knows. Hey, Alex. What do you think?
I do not know.
That is most certainly Herbert Hoover.
Oh, okay.
Am I wrong? Because I have Andrew Mellon. Did he have 2?
Oh.
Because usually when you have a different answer than me, I just assume that I'm wrong. So
well, we can look it up easy enough.
Yeah. Calvin Coolidge, Treasury Secretary.
Mellon was a famous financier.
Calvin Coolidge's Secretary of the Treasury was Andrew Mellon, who also served under Warren G. Harding and continued under President Herbert Hoover.
Oh, well, chalk went up for daughter number 3.
His policies, including tax cuts, are often associated with the prosperity of the 1920s, which saw economic growth. According to
I was mistaken. Herbert Hoover was the Secretary of Commerce.
Yes, that was right.
Oh, there you go.
Administrations.
Partial credit.
And for those who don't know, Hoover spoke Mandarin, Mandarin Chinese. He was an engineer who wound up over in China, and his wife ran a mission school or something like that over there. And so the two of them learned Mandarin, and they would talk Mandarin back and forth when they didn't want the reporters to know what they were saying. Interesting. That was Herbert Hoover. Calvin Coolidge is buried in a very indescript grave back in his home state of Vermont. And it just says Calvin Coolidge, born such and such, died such and such. Just a regular old stone. You just wanted to be a regular old person.
What, Alex?
Vermont's an interesting state. Voted against all but one Democrat between Andrew Jackson and Michael Dukakis, and then voted Dem ever since.
Yep, that's flipped around. Some states have flipped like that. Like much of New England used to be heavily Republican, and it's Democratic now. But then if you look at states down to the south, places like Arkansas, West Virginia is another state that's pretty much flipped from Democrat to Republican. So it kind of goes back and forth like that.
All right. This American fashion designer and retailer started as a coat shop in a New York City hotel. Answer if you are so inclined.
Fashion designer. Started as a coat shop in New York. It's Calvin Klein. How about that?
Very good.
I second that. Yep.
Very good, Calvin Klein.
I'm on a roll.
All right, what's next?
I haven't seen these questions in advance. I'll tell you that right now, everybody. Oh.
This comic strip follows the adventures of a 6-year-old boy and his tiger friend.
Calvin and Hobbes. Yep.
It ran in more than 2,400 newspapers.
Yes. I have some Calvin and Hobbes that I cut out with snowmen, where Calvin would make snowmen and block the driveway, or one swimming away from a shark or something like that. He was a very creative cartoonist.
All right. And then this French theologian's doctrine of predestination is central to Reformed Christianity. Everyone all together.
Calvin.
John Calvin.
Very good.
Right.
Yes. Technically, it's called double predestination. Single predestination is that everyone ordinarily should go to hell, and double predestination is that God has handpicked people to go to heaven, according to Reformed doctrine.
Yeah. Alex knows a lot. Okay, this American rapper's real name is Calvin Brodus. If you know the answer, drop it like it's hot.
Oh, wow.
Dog, I believe.
There you go. Let's see.
Yeah, how about that?
Good job, Alex. 50%. That was my parenting that you know that.
Okay, cool. Very neat.
This unit of temperature measurement is the fundamental unit in the International System of Units. In the system, 273 is the equivalent of 0 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, it being Kelvin Day gives it away.
There you go.
The Kelvin scale would be a pretty good guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and much of the rest of the world does not use the same Fahrenheit system that we use. But
right.
When Canada first flipped to metric units, I was in Toronto and I asked people on the street what the temperature was, and they all answered in Fahrenheit. Not a one of them answered in centigrade.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for watching the video. Tomorrow is going to be a really fun one. It's the anniversary of the Palm Sunday tornadoes. Yay, tornado birthdays. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. That tells the algorithms to help us grow. So we appreciate that. And we'll let Bill close it.
Yeah, I want to thank all of you for coming on board today and staying till the end. We got a little bit of a gloomy start to this Thursday, but keep in mind the sunshine will be back in full force here for Friday and Saturday. Looks like a good start to the weekend. Thanks again. Have yourself a great day.